2-1-1 against that great game against USC where Vince Young just was amazing in that game. And he had a very good run. But it was his time to go. Looking over the last couple of years that he was there, they went to No Bowl the first year. They went to the Holiday Bowl in 2011, and 2012, 2013 they went to the Alamo Bowl. And if you're some other team, if you're like Baylor that wasn't in the coming up, that would be good. But when you're Texas, you're not playing for those. You want to play for those New Year's Day bowl games, at least the Cotton Bowl or something. And right now, it's just they got to get right back to it. And I feel like that he's a good guy that can do it. Like I said, he did pretty well in Louisville. But I think the one thing that's also impressing me is he was an assistant at Florida. He knows what it takes to go to a school that is a football power and kind of at least know the culture around there to know what is expected of him.
Right, exactly. I mean, he knows the culture of winning, and that's always a plus. He knows how to build a team ground up. I mean, then he has the biggest recruiting backyard in America. He has Texas.
Mm-hmm.
He has the money. He has the scholarships. They might not have all the backing of the boosters yet, due to other reasons he can't even control. But he's capable of, doing what's necessary. I mean, he has the resume. I mean, you might argue with certain things, like his flair maybe, or maybe him not being a Texas guy or whatever. But I mean, he has the resume of winning. That's what matters the most.
Right, and that's pretty much it. So I think he'll do well. I think he'll do pretty well. He'll probably get to 7-5 or 8-4 in his first year, and then get Texas right back to where they should be. The main question is though too, there's always the elephant in the room. What if it doesn't happen? Then what? Let's just say 3 years they're stagnant right there around that 7-5, 8-4 range.
Well,
then what?
I mean, yeah. If not, he could potentially be fired. If they don't get the results that they want soon, and it'll be understandable. 3 years with Texas, with the resources they have, I mean, you will at least want to be competitive, at least a Big 12 champion.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be understandable, but I'm very optimistic with this. I think he's going to do well. I mean, I don't think it's much of a challenge at all. I was so impressed with what he did at Louisville that I think that he can show any program, any school, what it takes to win. I mean, the guy was in the SEC, for several years, built a winning a team, went to Louisville couple years and built a winning team. He, like I said, he molded, the potential first quarterback to be taken in the draft. So I'm very confident of him of what he's going to do at Texas.
And that's another thing too. I think he's a pretty good recruiter as well, right?
Yeah,
very
good recruiter.
So he can parlay that in Texas. Think about that. That will just be amazing. And like you said, he molded Teddy Bridgewater to what he is right now. What was Mac Brown's biggest knock? I think after Vince Young and Colt McCoy, that he couldn't really get quarterbacks. That he passed on quarterbacks that were from Texas and couldn't get them to come to his backyard. Andrew Luck from Texas couldn't get him. Chucky Keaton from Utah State couldn't get him. Manziel, you could probably say as well, couldn't get him. So, and also had the ideas of many different players had thought they were kind of like running backs or something. Well, running backs or defensive players or something like that. So, at least if Strong can try to at least get the quarterbacks tilted a little bit towards his favor, it's going to be pretty good for him. He's gonna have to fight against Baylor and Texas A&M to do that, but I feel like they can do that, and they can still do that pretty well.
Right. And now that you don't have to worry about Missouri, you don't have to worry about Texas A&M. I mean, it's easier, really.
Right. And that, like you said too, about the Big 12, it's kind of, the Big 12 is a little bit easier to navigate right now because the only thing you really have to worry about is Oklahoma, Baylor maybe, somewhat, and Oklahoma State, of course. Here. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Looking at his schedule right now, I think his non-conference games, he starts off against North Texas, plays against BYU. BYU is going to come to Texas, I think. And they got a game against UCLA in Arlington. So, yeah, there's that. But then once you get into conference play, everything's going to be pretty good for him.
Yeah.
Now, some more of the coaching changes in college football. Louisville has announced its replacement, and it looks like they're going back to the all things new is old. Well, all things old is new again.
Right, with Bobby, old Bobby.
And it's the crazy thing here that he goes there, and I guess Louisville's a little bit different because now they're going to go to the ACC. So, you think Bobby Petrino is going to kind of stay around there a little bit longer, or how do you think they're going to go around with him, and how soon do you think he's going to be looking for his new job?
Well, has he taken the Louisville job yet?
Yes.
I think he's going to do fine there. I think he's going to do all right. I mean, he knows the school, and it obviously shows how desperate they are. I mean, they lose strong, and this is the first thing they do. It's like an X. It's like the ultimate rebound.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes, but I think they'll do okay just because he knows the school, he knows the boosters, he knows the dean and the president, he knows the system, and he'll probably get. If anything, he's inherited something good because they're a winning program now, and they were winning when he left, but they're still winning. They're winning bigger on a bigger scale.
Right.
When he was there, I think they got an Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. Against the AC. I think they played Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest.
Yeah, play Wake Forest. But for them, to be doing what they've been doing lately, it pales in comparison. And I think he's gonna do fine. They have recruits now. I'm just interested to see how some parents, players are gonna question, his commitment to the school and their children. This guy who known for bailing out, bailed out on Louisville to go to Atlanta, bailed out on Atlanta to go to Arkansas. Didn't bail out on Arkansas, but he screwed up big time.
Job there.
So it's like, where's your proper judgment? And I hope they keep all the all the females, all the women, 30 and under away from their team.
Yeah.
Keep them away from all of them.
That would be pretty good. That would be that'd be a good idea right there. Just tell them not to go to the Kentucky Derby, and I guess whenever the Kentucky Derby happens and stuff, do not chase after anybody with those big floppy hats. I guess. But yeah, it's just it was desperate. It was desperate. It's like, can you find somebody else there to go to Louisville? But I guess they just wanted to kind of make a big splash. Bobby Petrino, of course, after the Arkansas thing, he resurfaced himself in Western Kentucky. Had a decent season there, I think, and then now he's here. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do. I feel like that they'll probably be middle of the road in the ACC. He'll get them back. He'll probably get them to where they should be, and then we'll see what next is for him. Possibly somewhere in the southeastern United States.
Right.
Hopefully not the NFL.
I was surprised he got a big time job this soon though.
Right.
I thought maybe he would linger around junior colleges, maybe a smaller program, but for him to go back to Louisville is just it's mind blowing.
Right, it really is. I mean, I kind of thought I knew that he wasn't going to stay in Western Kentucky for a long time, but I thought it was probably going to take 2 years, maybe 3 years. People would reevaluate because what how he left Arkansas. I mean, it just was so nasty that the whole fallout right there was just nasty. There, for maybe some teams to probably say that this was a little bit toxic. But Louisville just decided, hey, we'll give you a chance. It worked once before, and if you leave us again, well, we're not going to be worried too much about it because at least you'll be making us money. So, hey, I guess it works there. So,
Right.
there's always that. And, of course, Penn State is still trying to find themselves a new coach. And it looks like James Franklin is also one of the candidates there. And it's kind of like he wants the job. But you also have Miami's Al Golden, and you also have the fired Tennessee Titans head coach Mike Munchak that wants to go there as well.
Right. Penn State job is tricky. You're not going to be going to any bowl games for a while. You know how some recruits might feel about not coming or wanting to come or wanting to play, but still not getting an opportunity to play the postseason. So it's a very, very tricky job.
If you're going to be a head coach there, you at least have to. You got to at least try to sell the recruits like, hey, you got 2 more years of us not going to bowl games. Then you can possibly make ourselves back. If we can continue to do the same thing that Bill O'Brien did this past couple of years, which he actually led Penn State to winning seasons, we can stay afloat. We could possibly try to stay afloat. Now, I guess after these sanctions get done, that's going to be the telltale sign. How far has the talent dropped off from there is going to be the telltale sign. Can they continue to stay afloat in the Big Ten? Maybe be a middling team, if not still back to the premier program that they were? Or are they going to completely fall off the face of the earth and basically be right there along with Indiana and Northwestern? That's going to be remain to be seen.
Yeah, it's tricky because the Big Ten is a weird place. Right now, Michigan State and Ohio State seem to be the 2 premier programs.
Right.
While everybody else is just there. So.
And then you also have Rutgers and Maryland coming in as well.
Yeah, so it's kind of tricky.
So, yeah, it's going to be that. But if I'm James Franklin, there's a lot of reasons here for you to maybe take the job, but then again, there's a lot of reasons for you not to take the job. I mean, the reason why that you probably, if he could take the job, is this guy actually made Vanderbilt matter.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do. If you look back at Vanderbilt over the past 50 years, they've really had a hard time mattering until he comes there and, has his personality there.
Right.
But then again, there's a lot of reasons here why not to take the job because, well, you got Vanderbilt back-to-back 9-win seasons, and they're actually doing a decent job in the SEC. And you're in the East, and I know you probably will not win the East, but there has to be a better job also for him, too.
Right.
So, there's that. So we'll go ahead and take ourselves another minute break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the national championship game and pretty much the death of the BCS and hello to the playoff system that's coming up soon. We'll be talking about that in about a minute. We'll be right back with the Gafford and Brown Show.